Stormy Daniels is just wrapping up her testimony in New York. It got pretty granular. Yes, missionary position. The judge said that she could not discuss genitalia. In other words, she can't tell the story that she's told so many times about how teeny tiny Donald Trump's penis is. So I don't know, maybe he thought that would offend the jury, or I guess it wasn't relevant to whether Donald Trump paid her off in order to win an election. I mean, that's the thing that blows my mind. Is all morning I kept hearing people on MSNBC refer to this as the hush money trial. This is not a hush money trial. This is an election stealing trial. If this story of Stormy Daniels, keep in mind, 2 weeks before the election, the Access Hollywood tape came out. Dozens of high-profile Republicans called for Donald Trump to step down and Mike Pence to continue as the presidential nominee. 2 weeks before the election. And had the Stormy Daniels story come out, that would have happened. Donald Trump would not have been the Republican Party's nominee. Or if he was, he would have lost miserably. This is about election interference, period, full stop. I don't know why the media won't talk about that. It boggles my mind. Anyway, a lot going on today. What we'll be talking about today, stormy weather, Rafah, and the status of peace talks in the first hour. Also, should protesters be peaceful or is being disruptive to power the whole point? And a crazy alert, right-winger and Kristi Noem have a new theory about her book and puppies. Was there a liberal plant editor who inserted unflattering stories about her? Very strange. Very, very strange. In the second hour of our program, are billionaires simply money addicts like Scrooge McDuck? That's my piece today over on HartmannReport.com. Also, the new propaganda war. Ann Applebaum writing about this. I'll share with you my summary of her, what she's writing about. It's pretty shocking stuff. In the third hour, the noble lie and abortion. What's going on in Ohio? And also the trustees, the Medicare and Social Security trustees, just issued a report on the solvency of those programs and how they must be defended against Donald Trump and the Republican Party. I'll share that with you in the third hour of the program. So we've got a lot to talk about today. In the Stormy Daniels testimony today in the Donald Trump election interference trial. It shouldn't even be election interference. It should be stealing an election trial. Or maybe you can come up with a better phrase for it. Because one of the pieces that I should write, one of the op-eds that I should write this week for Hartmann Report is about how inappropriate or how just wrong it is that Sean, can you close that, please? How absolutely wrong it is that this story is, that this trial is being characterized as one thing when actually it's something completely different. I mean, this is just wrong. So anyhow, Stormy Daniels today was testifying. She says, first of all, she says, when I opened the door to come out of the bathroom, she had to go to the bathroom. She comes out of the bathroom, and up to this point, Trump has been wearing silk pajamas, right? But which was weird to begin with. She was supposed to meet him for dinner. So, he invites her up to his room instead of meeting her for dinner. She comes up to his room. He's sitting there in pajamas, or he answers the door in pajamas. They have this long conversation. She goes into the bathroom to use the toilet because she's drank a couple of glasses of water, a couple of bottles of water. He, when she comes out of the bathroom, is sitting on the bed in his boxer shorts. Like, hey, what does she expect? She tries to walk out of the room, and Trump jumps up and blocks her from leaving the bedroom and pushes her onto the bed. She says it's not threatening, right? She says, great, I put myself in a bad situation. And then she says, I went to the opposite side of the bed. I had my clothes and shoes off, missionary position. The attorney says, did you end up having sex with him? Then she says, she remembers sitting at the end of the bed. She says afterwards, she says, it was really hard to get my shoes on because my hands were shaking so hard. I left as fast as I could. That was it. And he says, did you tell anybody about it? And she says, no, I was ashamed. Yeah. This is incredible. And this was, you know, keep in mind, this was just a couple of months after Melania had given birth to Barron. So that's happening. Judge Aileen Cannon, down in Florida, speaking of Donald Trump's legal woes, has given Trump an indefinite delay in his trial. There's a whole evidentiary thing, and she's just said, you know, whenever you guys get around to posting this information, that's fine with me. So, you know, they'll get around for, you know, forever. This adds more unknowns to the case. She has not yet even selected a trial date. And this time-eating strategy, of course, is Trump's strategy. We're also learning that Aileen Cannon, the judge in the case down in Florida, took a $10,000 bribe, basically. The George Mason University has been sending federal judges on these, you know, $10,000 all expenses paid, first-class airfare, $1,000 a night resort in Montana near Yellowstone National Lodge. Lucian Trescott for Salon Rights. It's called the Sage Lodge in Prairie, Montana. It's where George Mason University sends gaggles of federal judges every year or so, all paid for by the Antonin Scalia Law School, named for the late justice, who ironically died on a ranch getaway paid for by right-wing benefactors. This is not something new, these bribes to these judges. But she failed. You're supposed to, you know, when somebody tries to bribe you, you're supposed to disclose it. Or when somebody gives you a gift, let's say, you're supposed to disclose it. And she was a guest at these conferences both in 2021 and in 2022, and she never filed the so-called privately funded seminar disclosure report. And it's supposed to be posted within 30 days of taking the gift. And Cannon somehow forgot to do so. Right.